So on this one, we're actually going to be moving into the presentations. And Dr. Field, I know, actually, you can imagine how busy this guy is. He's a specialist on air filtration as it relates to the pandemic. And he's literally been on the road. Last week, he had to miss the dry run. And I'm not sure if he made it. I can't really see who's on the call, but we do have Dr. Glasser, who's ready to help us out and go ahead and pinch hit for Mr. Field today. So is Jason on or no? Don't believe he's on. Okay, so again, he had said he was going to try to make it. At the end of the day, though, we're going to present for you guys anyway, and we can do a follow-up as well. So with that, I want to introduce William Glasser to speak more about it. And let's go to the next slide. Bill. Maybe muted?
Who's going to unmute me?
There you go. We can hear you.
Okay,
You're on.
good. Yes, I was saying I'm a doctor of soul. I hope that qualifies. Anyway, we were intent upon finding an air filtration system and a company that had a lot of good choices before the pandemic, but once we encountered the pandemic, it became very clear that we had to ramp up, and USA Nanocoat has both nanocoating products and a very good selection of air filtration systems. Their technology protects surfaces. It's good for air purification, energy efficiency. It creates healthier living environments for our businesses, our families, and our communities.
Hey, Bill, a quick question for you. What types of units are there in air filtration? Is there like a couple different types of units that our audience would like to hear about?
We have several types. Do we have the slide with the pictures, or should we just go in order?
Just go ahead and verbalize it. I think it's better.
Well, there are several types, of course, of the air filtration system, some which people are already familiar with, but some of the ones that help on the commercial end, there's a standalone filter that we have through USA Nanocoat, which can clean about up to about 5,000 square feet, particularly good for doctors' offices, dentist offices, schools, restaurants, healthcare facilities. And another type of filter is actually they're filterless, but they run on PCO technology. PCO technology is photocatalytic oxidation. That's a technology that was developed by NASA, and it completely will eliminate spores, VOCs, bacterias, viruses, anything basically that passes through the filters. And there are all sizes that we can offer our clients if they have an induct system and an HVA system that's in a large facility. We have, through USA Nanocoat, we have induct type of filters using this PCO technology. One particular one I like has got a kind of a honeycomb structure, and when UV light passes through that, it disperses the cleaned air through the entire system, cleans molecules on all levels, basically attacking the contaminants and pathogens and destroying them. And it's perfectly safe for human beings and animals. Naturally, when we improve the air quality, we have more productivity, fewer sick days, sharper focus, and of course, very good for preventing widespread illnesses like COVID.
Yeah, I love this. I love the quote over here on the right. The 99.6%. That was so exciting to me. At the end of the day, you can see specifically there that the units destroy viruses. Both in the air and on surface by a large number. So it's an amazing technology in relation to that. And photocatalytic oxidation just from NASA, just incredible stuff. So let's go ahead and move to the next slide. And Bill, can you just speak real quickly to this visual slide?
Clearly, we can see that the viruses can spread even greater than 6 feet. So the idea is by having a system, and some of these systems are not that expensive, for a business. Again, a 5,000 square foot can be covered with, less than $2,000 for a really comprehensive air filtration system.
Nice. On this one, I like the visual aid. You can see, you got that fresh air flow into the office space, the hallway, the bathroom, and then you've got, the exhaust vents, and that's your flow. But I love the stats here too. You can kind of see specifically how far they can travel. I know a lot of us have talked about this and wondered about it. I think the droplet nuclei is the most interesting one. 160 plus feet. That's the one that I think kind of scared me a little bit. And 15 feet, wow, I didn't know anyone could sneeze 15 feet, but I guess it's happening out there. So anyway, just giving you some metrics there. Let's go to the next slide.
Yeah, hi, this is Jason.
Hey, Jason. Jason, hey, sir, thanks for joining us. We were pinch hitting for you, but if you want to take over from here, please do.
I do apologize for not being able to make the earlier part of the meeting.
We know how busy you are. I covered for you. I told them you were pretty slammed, so we appreciate you showing up.
Yeah, and please feel free to add any comments as we go through.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so
take it from here, please do.
Sure. And again, the PCO technology, this is not a new technology that was recently developed in response to the pandemic. This has been a existing technology. It's been tested and validated for more than 20 years, originally developed by NASA to solve an issue they were having with growing food in contained environments. So many fruits and vegetables produce ethylene gas, and that causes them, fruits and vegetables, to ripen and rot prematurely. And so they had to come up with a technology to solve this issue, a technology that produced no byproducts, as this was in a contained environment. And so that's kind of the background behind the development of PCO technology. NASA licensed this technology for commercial use back in 2000, 2001. And since then, it's been used in a variety of industries, food storage and processing, medical industries, commercial, residential. So in terms of its ability to kill viruses, many of these devices actually are much more effective than the 99.9%, and I'll show you some data on that later. You can see up to 5-6 log reduction in pathogens, a wide variety of pathogens, in fact. So this has been tested. Our specific reactors have over 10,000 hours of testing data, and there are over 35,000 peer-reviewed publications on PCO technology over the last 20 years. So one of the best studied technologies, I think, out there that's available for killing viruses. Let's see if we could go to the next slide. This is just an example of some of the tests that we have done. You can see here on the H5N1 virus, this virus actually is known as a surrogate to the SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus. And so we've done testing on viruses very similar. We also have testing data from a sneeze simulation machine, which basically shows instantaneously a 78% reduction in microbial aerosols, after 1 minute, that number is about 90 to 95%. After 5 minutes, you start getting into the 99+% reduction. So it's a very fast acting technology in comparison with other available technologies. For example, if you did the same test with a HEPA filter, you would probably end up with a 0 reduction, because for the HEPA filters to work, the air has to be pulled through the filtration device itself, and that takes a lot more than just seconds to work. So you're looking at oftentimes you need a certain number of air exchanges per hour to clean a room using filtration-based technology. So that's one of the large advantages of this technology. If you think of it, these air cleansing molecules are already in place in the indoor environment before the sneeze occurs. That's how it's effective. No other technology can do that. It requires pulling that cloud of aerosols and pathogens past people to the filter, which then generates clean air. So one of the main advantages, and by the way, these air cleansing molecules exist naturally outside. They're created in the presence of UV light, oxygen, and water vapor. So anytime the sun is shining outside, you go outside, the concentration of these air cleansing molecules is about 10 times greater than that of the indoor environment. So this technology works by essentially bringing the outdoor air inside with these air cleansing molecules. And by the way, without those air cleansing molecules existing naturally outside, our atmosphere would be probably unbreathable, very, very contaminated. So it's nature's natural cleansing mechanism. Next slide, please. This is just a summary of some of the pathogens and contaminants that we have tested and have results on. Again, a lot of these results are obtained within a 4-hour period or less, so the time varies based on the test. But you can see we have MRSA, a wide variety of pathogens. The H1N1 is another pathogen that's known as a surrogate. This virus is very similar in structure to the SARS-CoV-2. If you look down here, volatile organic compounds, there's an average 91% reduction, and that's over 60 different VOCs that have been tested. And I mention this specifically because VOCs are a problem in many office buildings. In fact, after a building, a newly constructed building is finished, certain states like California, there's a period of time before that building can be occupied because of off-gassing. So all the materials they use to build not just the buildings themselves, but the furniture and materials within the building, they off-gas, and those contaminants get trapped in the office space, and it gives people what's known as sick building syndrome. And that can vary among people widely, but many studies have shown with clean indoor air quality, there's a big increase in productivity, focus, and concentration. This has been shown that, for example, students, schools that have implemented this technology, they show an increase in student performance scores and test scores. So lots of advantages beyond the pandemic in terms of implementing this technology. Also in terms of just reducing sick days and lost productivity. The flu season, when it comes through certain offices, if you have cuticles or whatnot, it can affect some companies more than others. And so this is a very affordable way to prevent that. In fact, prior to the pandemic, there's a lot of incentive to implement this technology just for those very reasons. Improve various processes. I guess next slide, please. Okay, this is just kind of a schematic showing some of the properties of the photocatalytic coatings that are used. These are based on titanium dioxide. I'll explain a little bit about the safety of that in a minute. But there are different properties. The ones that, or the one we're most interested in now is this one in the center, the self-disinfecting property, in which these coatings have been shown to have an incredible ability to inactivate viruses, pathogens, mold, and other contaminants as well. These coatings also work to purify the air, and that was their primary use prior to the pandemic. They're also self-cleaning coatings, and so depending on where they're used, they have a lot of other benefits and advantages in terms of keeping surfaces clean and increasing the longevity of surfaces that protect surfaces from moisture, humidity, UV light. So, and you can see here at the bottom, this particular formulation that USA Nanocat has in terms of the binder that we've developed enables our product to go on a wide variety of surfaces. Our formulations work on all surfaces except glass, in which case we have a special formulation for the glass surface. Next slide. Just an example here of a hospital area that has implemented some of the PCO technology. We could see some of the results here within minutes. They showed a 92% reduction in bacterial count, and other studies have shown in detail, as I mentioned, they can do a lot better than just 99.9%. Here's a 6 log reduction in anthrax strains, and so these anthrax spores are much more durable and resistant and much more difficult to kill than any sort of virus, specifically the coronavirus. So very effective technology. Again, it's been implemented in lots of different applications and industries. Let's see I'm not sure if there's another slide after this.
Yeah, Jason, I'm happy to just close this one out really quickly because I know you specialize in the air filtration and COVID related stuff. So just in a nutshell, with nano coating, the technology enables efficiency by keeping buildings cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. The practical applications are huge there in the metro areas. Anything else you would like to add just real quickly, Dr. Field, on this one? Just kind of went through some of the stuff on the site, that kind of thing, added it.
Yeah, no, I think, this is, it's great for cost effectiveness and it's excellent for the environment.
Yeah, we can go to the next slide. I think this one right here is just to show the gallery a little bit of some of the nanocoating products and services and shows the effectiveness. Those images, you can't see them very well, but you get the idea, right? So fabric, wood, and then there's a couple different products and services there. So I believe that's what we had.